started. It's still way too early in the morning, but I have my coffee and that's fine. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video really early in the morning. I am off work. I've got holidays actually, but not really holidays because I cannot go anywhere. That's why I decided to make a few videos so that I'm prepared for my time after my holiday. And today I wanted to talk to you about 10 things that you can declutter now that are hidden from you. I'm talking about the things that people basically pull out at day 30 and 31 and 29 of playing the minimalism game. So all the little shenanigans that you find in your drawers and closets and boxes that you don't really know were there, but you were kind of aware, but you just ignored them because they're too small and they can be ignored very, very easily and stored away because they don't take up much space, but they're really annoying to go through. So the first one I want to talk about is gift wraps that you kept when you unpacked presents yourself and you said, well, this is just in too good condition to throw away, so I'm going to keep it, but then you never end up using it. Ever happened to you? Happened to me hundreds of times, and the amount of times that I ended up using paper that I saved from another gift literally comes down to 1 to 2 times, because I often think, well, I think it's nicer to get a gift that is in like new gift wrapping paper than instead of old, or I just used newspapers, or I didn't use any gift wrap at all and just used some cloths or bags or just something else that I could think of. But I always left the already used gift wrapping paper in the bag, and now it's just sitting there and gathering dust, and it's, if I'm honest, never gonna be used again. So don't have a bad conscience getting rid of it. You don't need it anymore. This is where we keep our gift wrapping. See, there is the leftover from here. This is the original, and this one is just something that we kept. And honestly, I don't think we're ever gonna use it, so it can go. The second thing is old sewing equipment, buttons, needles, thread, whatever you can think of. I'm not good at sewing. I can attach a button to my jacket if it falls off, but that is about it. Whenever I've got something to mend, then I bring it to a professional, because I think it looks way better than I could ever do and stitch together with my hands. From time to time, I'm gonna do it, but I'm never really satisfied with the outcome. I have a few needles because I think it comes in handy if you can just mend something roughly in the moment. But then again, I only need like 2 needles, a black thread, a brown, and maybe a white one, and that is basically it. For the rest, I don't really need it, as well as all the buttons. I rarely use loose buttons. If I do, then I always find them, and if I lose one, cannot find it, then again I'm gonna go to a professional, because most of the time they've got leftover stuff that they can use, and I'm not one who really puts an emphasis on having all the same buttons on the shirt. As long as they look quite similar and it's not really noticeable, then I don't really care. So I don't keep all the extra buttons that come with shirts and jackets and stuff, and I always just throw them out, or maybe collect them and give them to someone who can put them to better use than I am. So throw them out. And also with the needles, I always, if I put a thread through a needle, then I can never get it off again because I have to tie it, otherwise it just goes out again, and I can never seem to cut off the knot thing. So I end up with a bunch of needles still having the thread on it, and at some point I just cannot use them anymore. Yeah, that's my life. And the third thing is old food. Of course, we all know that we can eat food, or most foods, past their best off date, especially with canned goods. They are good for a lot longer than companies make us think. Same with everything that is unopened. Although you still have to be careful with what you consume and if it's still good, always. The way I do it is I always look at it, then I smell it, then I taste it, and if it then feels good to me, then I'm gonna eat it. But yeah, but there are always the things that you keep out of bad conscience because you just wanted to try them, or you needed it for one recipe and then you never used it again, and now it's like sitting in your shelf. It might be spices that you just use once. For me, that is probably protein powder, because once, a couple of years ago actually, I ordered 1 kilogram of protein powder, which I used up, and then I thought, wow, I'm using it so much, then why not order 2.5 kilos? Guess what? It's 3 years later and it's still there. And I can assure you, although it's out of the packaging, I know that it's only good until 2019, and yet I still held onto it. I don't even like it anymore. The fourth thing is cardboard boxes. If you're someone who tries to sell their stuff online like I do, from time to time you're gonna need some cardboard boxes to send people some stuff, but they're really, really expensive. They cost about €5 per box. Where I live, and I'm just not willing to buy a new box every time. So what I tend to do is keep the boxes that I get sent and then reuse them at a later time. This works quite well, but cardboard boxes, if you cannot collapse them, then they also take up a lot of space in your cupboard, which I'm not willing to sacrifice. Let's look for those cardboard boxes, and they're all up here. So these ones, and this one, and I have to pick them up, and these ones. Look at how much space they're taking up. And I'm literally gonna get another package today with more contact lenses, so yeah, I'm gonna get another one of these boxes, and which I don't need. So let's go and put them all on the desk for you to see. So this is what I mean. I always stick them inside of each other. And yeah, there is more and more and more, which I don't need, and I'm gonna get rid of all of these, and then I've got all this space in my closet. So whenever I want or I need a cardboard box, then I go out to the trash cans, because in Germany we've got extra trash cans for paper. I go in there and I look for a box, I reassemble it, put the stuff in there. I make sure it's not dirty or anything, but usually there's only paper in those bins, so it's not dirty at all. And I take this box and then I'm gonna put the stuff in and then just resend it. Works fine, and I don't need to keep the cardboard boxes in my closet. Then the fifth thing is birthday cards. You know, there are really, really nice cards that are worth saving, and then there are just birthday cards, which people give you so that they can give you a card, which literally says happy birthday on the front, and then dear we wish you a happy birthday on the inside as well. So there's double the message in one card, and it literally took people 2 minutes to write it, if not less. So that's the cards I'm talking about. And it's not just birthday cards, also Christmas cards and whatever cards you can basically think of. And then there are the cards where people really took their time. You can see that they drew something or painted or wrote a really lovely text. Those are the cards worth keeping, but for the love of God, please declutter the other ones, because if you cannot even remember getting this card after a year or two, then there is no need to keep it. And if you want to, take a picture. And if you have a bad conscience because this person is very close to you or something, I can promise you no one is ever gonna ask you if you kept a birthday card. This is literally just for you. Then the sixth thing that I want to talk about is alcohol. Per se, alcohol cannot go bad, but especially if you've already opened the bottle, especially with high percentage alcohol, is that what you call it, like vodka and this stuff, it can evaporate. The alcohol can evaporate and the taste can slightly change. And honestly, if you haven't touched a bottle of alcohol in 2-3 years, is it really that likely that you're gonna drink it? Plus, it's not good for you anyway. So only keep the stuff that you actually plan on drinking yourself, with friends, with family, and then just discard of the rest, no matter how much it costs, because it's just not worth the space keeping the alcohol in your house. The seventh thing is used up calendars or notebooks. That is something that I'm really guilty of. I think in my flat, my boyfriend and I combined, I think we own 4 or 5 calendars that hang up on the wall, which are really pretty, and they're basically like pictures which like switch out every single month. They're really, really beautiful ones. And that's why we have that many. But that also makes it really difficult to get rid of the calendars. As soon as you've copied all the like birthdays and dates and stuff, it makes it really difficult to throw them out because they're so pretty. But literally there are 2 calendars which have been lying in my cupboard for the past few months of this new year, and are just waiting to be thrown out. But I don't know, I cannot, but I really have to. So I have to look through them for one last time and then just throw them out, because I'm gonna get a new one each year anyway, and I haven't touched it or looked through it, and it's just collecting dust in my cupboard because it's sitting on top, and I don't find that really nice. So yeah, calendars and old notebooks is definitely something that you should get rid of, especially if you're not, or you cannot use them again, basically. The 8th thing that you should get rid of right now, and that I always forget to look through, but I did lately, that is out of date medicine. While it might not be totally unsafe to use medicine that is out of date, maybe the ingredients that are in the medicine, they don't really work anymore, and a painkiller might not actually soothe your pain anymore as good as a new one would. So just look at the best buy date and then get rid of the stuff that is not good anymore. That might seem like a waste of money, because what tends to happen for me is that I buy some sort of medicine, might it be a painkiller or something else, is that I use 1 or 2 of them, although they last for 2 years, and then I bought the whole box and I never actually used the rest, so I kind of wasted money there. But there is literally no point in keeping something that went off. The important thing is to discard of your medication properly, so separate the pills from the blisters and the instruction manual and the box from the plastic, and then put everything to recycling properly. Make sure you're only using medicine that is safe to use for you. Then the 9th thing is something that I'm guilty of as well. I'm guilty of all the things, basically. And that is keeping old screws and nails and things that belong to some wardrobe that you haven't used when putting it together, and now you're hoping that your wardrobe just won't fall apart after some time. Those screws. No, with especially with when you buy at stores like IKEA, they always give you like extra screws and shenanigans in case you lose something, but most of the time you're never gonna use it. So they end up in a glass jar or in a box, and yeah, never see the light of day again. And those are the things that you can just declutter. Because with most furniture nowadays, it's like throwaway furniture. So if you assemble it once, you cannot assemble it a second time, and it falls apart then anyway, and you have to buy the new thing, and then you just collect more screws and stuff. And yeah, just get rid of the screws. Because if you need a specific screw, you can always go to the shop and buy exactly that screw, and you can buy one. Because most of the times you can pick and choose which screws that you wanna take. You don't have to buy a packet of 10, which you're gonna need one of, and then throw away the rest. No, you can pick one, buy it for 10 cents, and then that's it. So put the screws away finally. And then finally the 10th thing is cables. When I first moved into my first flat, this one, my parents were very good to me and they installed all the lamps and the oven and stuff for me, and they gave me a bunch of cables, which I don't know what they're for. And since then they've been sitting in my flat. I've had a bad conscience just throwing them out in case I need them, but I don't even know what they're for. I don't know how to use it, and with electricity I have to say I'm really careful because I want to live. So I don't know what to do with them anyway. For some of them I know what they are, but I don't need them because I've literally got 10 of the same kind, and I think I don't need 10 of the same kind. So yeah, they're just sitting here. They don't want them back and I don't want them here, so throw them out. It's literally like 20 different cables. So these are the 10 things that maybe you haven't thought of yet that you could declutter right now. They are widely hidden from people's eyes in boxes for most of the time. But I think also discarding the little things makes you feel a lot more calm within yourself if you know that at least this part is organized then. So I hope you enjoyed this little list. You were able to declutter some things of your own, and I hope that I'm gonna see you in the next video. Maybe I'm gonna tackle my wardrobe in this one, we'll see. But yeah, until then, have a nice day and see you in the next one. Bye.